What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle, and today's video is a sponsored first look at Have a Nice Death. This game has been on my radar for a bit, and I got to check it out before it got released, but it releases today officially, and I was playing it for a while yesterday, and I really liked it, and so I'm gonna analyze part of one of my runs, just because I'm trying different stuff with the video format. So let me know if you enjoy it, if you want to see more videos on this game in the future. But yeah, so the game itself is sort of, it's Metroidvania in a way, but I actually wouldn't describe it that way. I would say it's closer to Mega Man and Hades than it is like a traditional Metroidvania or something like Hollow Knight. But the game is really fun. It's got some cool features that we'll talk about. It really nails the roguelite elements, and it's fun, and the graphics are pretty cute. So let's go through this. I'm going to show the second boss here. I think you can get different bosses each time, but just in case you are worried about that, this is one of my, I think this was my best run so far when I was recording. So I'm gonna show off the second boss and the third level, and then we'll, get out of here at the end. So let's see. I actually got here pretty stacked. It took 20 minutes or whatever, but I had, I think, 5 health potions and a pretty strong poison build. What's cool too is the scythe that you start with, you can actually give it different forms. So I picked the sickles, which are like a dual wield, like quick flurry type of weapon. All right, let's go. Taking the elevator, you're just going through your whole business building. And this is pretty cursed here, so I didn't even notice the butcher motif. But we got Bob's Big Boy. I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember this, but that's definitely what it's referencing. And it's funny seeing it like this because it just makes you realize how creepy the statue was back in the restaurant days. And this thing just becomes nightmare fuel. So this weird spider bot with, death legs and shoots bombs and stuff. What's really nice too about the graphics is that everything's just really contrasting. All the dangerous stuff is usually like bright that you can see, except that. So you're gonna see pretty much all the damage I take this fight is, besides that hit, is from the spray, because it's hard to see that for me. But otherwise, we have a pretty good poison build. This was doing a ton of damage, and this almost looked like a free fight at first because I hadn't fought this boss yet. But I was thinking, look at that poison damage, dude. And I was thinking, okay, I got this. And I literally take all of the damage for the entire fight right here. So I got hit by that chainsaw, and then this attack, it's right after this. I don't even see this. So I get hit twice by that bottle, and then I jumping and hit by it a third time. And I didn't even notice it at first. So it wasn't until I watched the video again that, you got some visceral art, by the way. But yeah, it wasn't until I watched the video I went, what the hell hit me? And, in hindsight, you can see it coming now, but at the time when you're trying to focus on, positioning and killing it, it's a bit harder to see. So there's definitely a skill issue. I had 5 potions. I am now out of potions. And here is basically the perk system. So you get to choose a bonus depending on the tree. And the more you stack one tree, you get penalties, which is nice. So you see that at the bottom. So there's some interesting stuff to play around. And I usually kind of favor the blue tree so far, blue and red. I haven't found much for the green tree, which is mana. But yeah, so our weapons besides our sickles are, we have Poison Cloud, and then we have a knife, like a knife attack that also poisons. But I like the Whirl Dagger because you can like dive into it. Pumpkin is pretty adorable. Just a hard worker at Death Inc. So this is, after you beat a boss, you go into these break rooms and stuff. You can, heal and recover. But also, there's no voice acting, but they do have this cute little, type of talking. I think it fits thematically. And so sometimes I took the lunch out of the fridge from previously, and this was huge. Heal 50 HP, pure heal. So you have if you didn't notice, you have like a temporary damage things like injuries, which are the light gray, and then you have permanent injuries, which the bar is empty. And so blue health or blue potions will, I think they're called anima orbs, but the blue ones will heal your wounds, and then your permanent damage gets healed by the gold ones, which are much more rare, or certain items like that. So, missing a shoe, I'm not sure what the if that's a quest or not. I didn't find anything. And then you get to pick where you're going, which is cool. I usually pick like health and equipment, not usually the upgraded perks so far. This place was weird. So this is the 3rd level, or this is where I went for the 3rd level. I don't know if it always looks like this. But this is the addiction center. And so it looks very much like a cartoonish hospital with our test tubes and syringes and our checkerboard floors. And the music changes a bit. This was a very hard fight because I hadn't seen this mechanic before where they get shielded, so I didn't quite know what was happening. Plus the enemy loadout is actually very hard. So we got the 2 big dudes at the bottom, and then these jack-in-the-box things, I hadn't seen these before. And so those were really tough for me. But most of these are powered up versions of initial enemies that you fight. And one of our other really cool perks that we have is when we kill an enemy, it hits all the others, I think, with poison. Like it just bursts open poison waves. And when you have a dedicated poison build, that's actually a lot of damage. I think I had another blue card that was like +2 poison damage per tick, so it was doing a ton. This thing I like a lot, the Revelation Bow. My other good run that I had 2 bows, so you can like do cool builds like that, bow builds and stuff. I was trying to do a poison build, and I like this bow a lot, so I grabbed the bow. Because the last time I did very well, I used that. So you see there, it reloads over time, and it's doing our poison damage, which is nice. And here I'm just testing to see how much, poison does, or how fast it kills these things. I learned very quickly that the jack-in-the-box things are worth being afraid of, so we're just doing some hit and run. Look how much health they have. They got a lot, dude. There you go. That gold currency, that's like meta progression currency, which I like how they handle it. If you work towards a meta progression challenge, it discounts the cost of it until it gets incredibly cheap, like 5% the original cost. So if you want it early, you can buy it early, and if you want to work towards it and save your resources, you can do that too. So I like that flexibility. So we're just checking around, grabbing this other currency here, and just seeing the layout of the map, because it's a new place. So we gotta learn. You always tell them they're gonna spawn because you'll see like a little red thing there, so it's not like a surprise, which I appreciate. And you got some temporary buffs too. For instance, we have the Union protection thing, and there's another one that's like Frenzy, and then I think there's one I found that was Lifesteal. That was really good. But I like the stun mechanics, so if you do enough damage and stuff, they get stunned and you can finish them or do a bunch of damage. So really, really cool interactive mechanics with the player character and the environment. You got enough mobility too. You got a fully invincible dash, and something else I greatly appreciate is when you come into bodily contact with the enemy, like just walk into them, you don't take damage. I really wish more games like this did that, because it honestly feels kind of cheap in a way when you are walking and the enemy's just walking. They're not even attacking, they just walk at you and you take damage. Like, that's definitely a holdover from old Mega Man games and stuff, so I would like it if that went away as a whole. So we're picking I think the currency deposit, yeah. Solary instead of salary, pretty funny. Loading screen, elevator music, of course. Yeah, this level, like every time I've gotten to, okay, yeah, that's really good. So if I had a lot of potions left, I could just slam them and heal up there, because it gave me injuries instead of permanent damage. Yeah, was I? Oh yeah. So each world that you go to, every level's been like a step up in difficulty. You know, very noticeably. But you also get stronger each run, so it helps out. I want to try some of the other scythe variations, but I haven't had the chance to yet. So I've just been rocking sickle. I like it more than the base scythe. But the base scythe has a little more range, I think, and that's also very good. So we have our book following us, which is just, you know, recording data and lore and stuff. And I think it might do something else too, besides, you know, look cool. I can't remember. Yeah, our goal here is to not die to the Jack-in-the-Box and pretty much kill everything else. And so I'm in a really bad position here, just being stuck under it. So I just want to see where the heck I can go, where I'm safe, and then try and kill it. There it goes. Currency. Definitely feel rewarded for killing the tough stuff. Okay, so Rage Stab, this is really good. So it's like bonus damage, and then also fills your frenzy gauge, which is that pink thing at the bottom of my, you know, weapon stuff at the top left. And you can do different frenzy attacks, which is cool. So you hold left trigger or L2, and then you press either X, Y, or B, and whichever one you press, you get a different effect. So you get a different frenzy for each weapon, which is really cool. And out of these, I think I like the bow so far, because the bow like shoots up and then covers the whole ground with arrows, and that can be really helpful because it clears out the sky above you and stuff. The sickle frenzy is okay. It's really good single target because it makes this like little cloud of sickles that keep swinging in. Yeah, we're gonna look and explore the rest of the map, or we're checking at least. Then we're going on. So different choices here. You can find some mini bosses too. They'll be like Thanager instead of managers, like Thanatos or Thanophobia or whatever it is for, you know, like the Thana root word for death. And then they're managers instead. So you can be an absolute Karen and go see the manager, which is usually a challenging mini boss. But just like, you know, the other progression, stuff like that, the more times you beat the mini boss, the more, like if you beat them like 3 or 4 times, you get a heavily discounted upgrade. And that's really cool. So you're incentivized to go for them, not just for the rewards and stuff, but also the, you know, progression, which is nice. I'm not sure if you get the ability to fly or double jump and stuff later. I haven't seen it. I don't remember seeing it in the progression either, but there's some stuff that's locked. But it definitely feels like you kind of need it for some spots. So at first, when you do the first few, like the first 2 levels, you don't really need the map that much. But later on, you know, for like level 3 and stuff, you know, I felt like I had to check it constantly. But I'm just trying to play with the movement, see if there's any other ways to get a little more height so I can see further. But so far I think I have it, because you have your regular jump, you have your dash, and then you have like, you press up and your scythe attack, it, you know, basically shoryukens, you know, uppercuts straight up and stuff. I think this fight goes much better now that I understand the mechanic here. Although I still took some damage, but those big dudes are so hard. Just gonna let this thing bleed out down there. I almost got hit in the face. I don't think it would have killed me, but it definitely would have hurt. Since I don't know what these, actually I do know what these are, but I was really scared right there, so I just hit the frenzy, and it worked out. So you see why that one's really good. At this point, I remember thinking to myself, like, please give me health. And I just wasn't finding it. Health is so hard to get in this, or at least it was for me. So you really have to be good and not get hit to preserve your health. Pretty much for the regular rooms, you don't want to get hit at all, or maybe like once through literally all 5 of them or 6 of them. And then if you take damage, you know, the only real permissible spot it feels like is the boss. So definitely do your best to preserve your health for that. I haven't seen any second chance mechanics yet either. So if you are dying, you're going to die. Definitely be careful with that. The mobility feels really nice though. The controls are snappy, they're crisp. I don't use that word often, but it definitely describes it. You can animation cancel into dash pretty much at any time, which is nice. I like that. Prestigious Anima Deposit. This is the gold health orb, or health potion, whatever you want to call it. So this is the one that'll heal your temporary and your permanent wounds. So you want to prioritize when you use these. I think you can hold L1 or LB, and it'll use the gold one first. I think that's how it worked. And if it's like not first in line, if you just tap it, it uses the blue one. So we're just chilling, we're crutching on our bow. I liked my bow build too. I have the video for that one, but I didn't get as far. But I had the Revelation bow, which, you know, tracks and does good damage. And then I had something called Fire Bow, which Fire Bow gives your bows extra ammunition, so there's some synergy there. So my Revelation bow, which was stronger than my other one, ended up having 4 shots. And that right there, I believe, is the kind of a challenge modifier where you get an extra 10 Solary if you make it to the end without taking a hit. So we're definitely trying not to die at this point. That was so lucky to see, by the way. So we used our Frenzy, and then we got the other thing that generates Frenzy and damage right after that. And I hadn't seen these before, so I was just trying to be safe and, you know, let the poison do the work pretty much. And we did. Very rewarding. 10% or extra 10 HP, very nice. Gets a jump off those, reminds me of Rogue Legacy. Breaking down some doors. Yeah, a lot of stuff there. Tons of cash, dude. Need to find a shop desperately. Just double checking if there's anything, because it's still like on the map. That might be a bug. It's possible. The ladders are really quick too, because you don't like just walk up and down them. Like when you interact with the ladder, it slingshots you in the direction that you're going, so you have to be careful. And you can go like up and down really quickly to kind of stay in place. Still have to be very aware of what's happening though. Since we're gonna get, you know, bonus 10 Solary for making it to the elevator, we're trying our best not to get hit here. So there's the gold orb. I think I pop it immediately, yeah. Because I am so desperate for HP. And 50 isn't really a lot at this point. I would like to fight the mini boss, but I feel like I'd just die because I don't have enough HP, so I'm really considering it. I end up going to this instead. But the bosses and stuff hit for like 15, 20 damage and stuff, so this is basically 3 hits. Oh, and I messed this up, so you're gonna see how the elevator works. So I didn't know if I was gonna take damage or not. I should have got hit both those times. I was very surprised. And I should be doing that, just looking around. And then somehow I missed that. I just didn't dash or something. But thankfully I don't think I took damage and just ported me to the top. Or I might have took a little bit of damage, but that's fine. It's not an instant kill, which is important. Control room is where you get to upgrade your stuff, your weapons. So this is pretty fun. So just get some... What is it? Get some sight damage. Really considering the bow, because even though the actual damage on it doesn't go up, the... What is it? The bow shoots 2 arrows, so it essentially doubles the damage on that. I don't know if these upgrades are permanent or not. If they are permanent, that's really good. Which means the finding control rooms is good. Like finding different weapons and bringing them to the control room is very awesome. But I don't know if it's permanent or not. If it's not, it's fine. It's not like you can't find the Solary to do it. Just another thing that, you know, you should be looking out for if it is permanent. Then here's the third boss. I forget what this one is. No, I remember. Yeah, whatever this thing is. It doesn't even really talk to us. It's just essentially like an emoji, dude. It's time to be happy. Just really crutching on the range, and I remember telling myself here, like, just don't hard commit to hitting it. Just look around, see what it does. And I wasn't sure if those tracked. I should have assumed they did. So I think the first one's tracked. Getting a little damage. Don't know what this is. And I just straight jump into that and I get myself killed. Rest in paperwork. That was definitely a panic. Kind of unsatisfying to die that way. I was a little sad myself. So sorrows, I believe, are the bosses. Mini bosses killed, shock therapy. Transform the scythe. Then I unlocked easy mode. Game's like, you've died a few too many times. Would you like to make it easier? I was like, hold up. But yeah. Meta progression, this goes up to 20. So you unlock different stuff. Which is cool. Oops. Hit the desk by accident. And I don't know if I show anything else off. I don't think so. So, then you spawn back at the start. Back at your desk. And you get to start again. But it looks like we could skip to the first boss if we wanted to, which I might not. Because, you know, the first levels aren't as hard now that you know what to do. So you can still get some power-ups and some potions and stuff. Yeah, that's the video. That's the game. Definitely interested in showing more of it. So if you want to see more of it, let me know down below. And you can pick it up yourself. I'll put a link in the description and the comments section, which is... it's the sponsored tracking link. It just takes you to the Steam page. It's just a show which, you know, content creator or whatever got the person to check the game out. So if you want to check it out yourself, definitely click the link. It would help me out. And I appreciate that. But yeah, so that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.